Can you talk a little bit about the prayers and the Lady in Repose that you've
Absolutely.
written about
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
extensively?
Yeah. I was amazed by this painting because it conveys. And she was not even 21 when she made this painting,
Right.
and it's confident, it's robust, it's fully at one with the hushed, prayerful mood of its subject. We also know that at this point she'd found a studio space at a convent in Mazgaon, and we know from her letters and the undated notes that we have, which you and I both, through you, I've had access to those notes. Uh, we know that she was curious about the life of the cloister. What does it mean to be a nun? And there was a great deal of interest uh, on her part. She was interacting with European nuns. She was also interacting with Keralite and Bihari and other students, uh, intendants who wanted to take the veil. And in this work, all of this comes across in an extraordinary way. And this, uh, sometimes we look at work like this and use the term cubist. It's not cubist at all. You also find experiments with a figure like this, for instance, in some of Sabawala's work going forward into the 50s. The question is, how do you represent the figure in a stylized way while yet holding on to the life of affect, to the visceral life of someone seeking communion with a larger force? How do you create that sort of sense of a cellularity, seclusion, the play of scale? Uh, it's and the deft use of symbolism. To me, this work, even if it is the only painting she'd ever painted, it would still stand alongside what we've been calling the masters. And yeah, it's just. I mean, I've been seized by this work ever since I've seen it, and it led me to think, what if she'd continued to be a painter? What might she have done next? Where might she have gone next? Which is not to say that I in any way deplore the path she took. I think when we think about Bhanu Athaiya's work, I think it also invites us to think that it's not it's not about just becoming a painter in that singular way, which was so important to her male contemporaries. As she writes in a very realistic way, she needed to make her way in the world. She needed to form a career. And so she goes into fashion, she goes into costume design, she goes into the movies. Uh, she's no less creative for that. I mean, the creativity that she expressed through all of that. I'm thinking of the work she did on Amrapali, for instance. I mean, that work stands. I mean, we take Diaghilev seriously, don't we? We think of Ballet Russe. Why should Bhanu Athaiya's work in costume design for the movies be any less than that? I don't believe in segregating these different areas of artistic production. I think we need to see them as a totality.